Strength lies not in holding on despite the heartache, but in letting go despite the love. This is something that I wrote a couple of years ago, and I wanted to share it both because I think it's really succinct and easy to remember and important, but also because I think it aligns really well with something else I talked about yesterday, which is if you find yourself in a relationship or a situationship where you are being made to choose between self-love and love of other, you have to choose yourself, which almost always looks like walking away. I think that rooted in this piece of writing is holding on despite the heartache is almost always a decision made out of fear of the unknown, of being single, of not finding someone else, where letting go despite the love is almost always made out of self-love, because you're choosing self-love over love of other if you're leaving. I stayed in a relationship for years longer than I should have, years. And I didn't do it because of self-love. I did it because of fear. I was afraid of being single. I was afraid of not finding someone. And this man wasn't respecting me anymore. He wasn't valuing me. He was very much choosing himself. And if he was choosing himself and I was choosing him, no one was choosing me. I wasn't being respected. I was sacrificing my self-respect and my self-worth in the name of making our relationship work. And I convinced myself that this was the right thing to do, when in reality, it was very much not. And it's because I was afraid. And if I had acted out of self-love, I would have walked away and I would have found greater happiness faster. So I think that we can never go wrong if we act out of self-love. And sometimes self-love can look like love of other. If you're both loving each other and respecting each other and valuing each other, then loving each other is self-loving. But if that's not what's happening, you got to choose you. I think almost every decision we make in this life is rooted in fear or self-love. I think we can look back and see which decisions we've made have been rooted in which, and I think it's interesting to reflect on where those have led. I think most of us make most of our decisions out of fear. For some reason, it's really hard to choose self-love. I think it's because our fear always asks us to stay with what's familiar, and obviously humans are afraid of the unknown. So, and choosing self-love often means going through the unknown. So, I think that for some reason our society really values sticking it out, though we're moving away from that. But I just wanted to share that I think there's a tremendous amount of strength that lies in choosing self-love and letting go despite the love of other. And I just wanted to share.